welcome to a super sensational edition of the MCDFNL Footy Show, looking ahead to the upcoming round of Round 9 Bendigo Bank action. My name's Yeendy, I'm joined by Mitch. Certainly some big games coming up this weekend.
Yeah, I've got a couple of close games picked in for this week, so yeah, looking ahead.
Fantastic, mate. We'll turn our attention to the first game of the round. We've got Harcourt visiting Maldon, the Bombers, coming off a disappointing loss on the weekend of the Redbacks.
Yeah, Maldon will be very disappointed after last week, but they'll put up a better contest this week. Yeah, look, Harcourt will want some big wins in the next 2 weeks because after the bye, they've got Talbot, Natty, Royal Park, Carisbrook all in a row, so they've got a very tough road ahead.
I think given their form this year, they're certainly more than capable of beating some of those sides, and they showed that on the weekend, taking down a Navarre side that is quickly emerging as back to some of their form from years gone by. So to come out, and that was a really important win for them. They'll obviously follow that up this weekend against the Bombers, who have been quite disappointing. But when they've been good, they haven't been too bad. So I guess the question is, will we see a Bombers outfit that hasn't been shocked with the lack of confidence last weekend, and how can they bounce back from that?
I think they will bounce back, and they've definitely improved since last year, you could say, for sure. So, in Harcourt, look, they've only lost the 2 games, so they're a very strong outfit, and I think they'll get it done this week.
Another team has certainly flown under the radar. Denali and Avoca, the Bulldogs ticking along just nicely. They'll be wanting a big win here just to push themselves up into the top 8 bracket. I know they'll be doing it again without Aaron Henneman, and I know we talk about him from time to time, but being a Bombers man, that's fantastic. But this is a day where he could go out and kick a bag, but he's not in the game. So I think it'll be an opportunity for some of the other Avoca players to come in and have a bit of an impact, which I think is important.
Yeah, look, they're sitting 9th at the moment, so they are only just outside the 8, and they had an impressive win against Newstead. The key is now for them to back it up against a struggling Denali side. So there's 5 teams on 4 wins from 6th to 10th, so every win counts. Yeah,
exactly. Percentage will definitely play a big part in it there. Royal Park play host to Carisbrook.
Yeah, Royal Park, very impressive, but Carisbrook probably even more with their massive win against Maldon last week. Royal Park will need their best effort if they're going to come close to taking over Carisbrook.
Yeah, exactly. They had that win last week against the Saints to get their confidence up, but unfortunately for them, the Redbacks are in some mean form at the moment.
They are, and they're right on the heels of Natty, who are sitting at the top, and if they keep going the way they are, they'll be up there soon. Yeah, it's frightening stuff at the moment. Cracking game we've got coming up this weekend between Navarre and Lexton. Can the Grasshoppers bounce back after a disappointing loss from their part to the Lions? Yeah, this was a challenging one to pick a winner for here. I think take your pick. Toss of the coin, as what Shane would have said last year. This is definitely a game for that. So, Lexton taking out Talbot last week, Navarre dropping to Harcourt. I think very evenly ranked sides at the moment, but I've picked Lexton just in a close one.
And Lexton slipping into the top 8, I think, for the first time this year is important for them. And to get this win here against some teams, the win last week was fantastic. To get this win here against a team that's in the mix, fighting, jostling for those spots that they're going to be at, this is going to be really important for them.
It is important for them, yeah, and if they're going to get into the 8 and then have any impact in finals, they're going to have to beat these types of sides that are sitting around the same spot as them.
How do you see Trentham bouncing back against Newstead? Is that certainly a big possibility for them this weekend?
They need to. They've dropped to 10th, and I don't think anyone would have picked them to be this low at this stage of the year. They certainly looked more promising at the early start of the year, as you'd probably think, but both of these sides will be looking to bounce back. Newstead as well, after being pretty disappointing last week. So Trentham, if they want to get into play finals, they'll have to beat sides like Newstead and pretty comfortably. Yeah,
and this is a battle between 10th and 11th as well, so important game for both sides. And for the Saints, I believe no side has dropped as far as what they've had in terms of later positions this year, so they'll need that confidence there. Rovers taking on Natty Bialba. Now, I know the Swans have been in some good form, but the Rovers, they weren't far off the mark last week with a great performance against Denali. I know it wasn't against one of the stronger teams, but I think when they're up and about like they were last weekend, could be an interesting contest.
Yeah, this is a real danger game, I think, for Natty. Rovers, when they're up and going, are a very good side. It's just a matter of consistency for them. So if they can really put on a good game this week and take over Natty, then who knows what they can do when finals come around.
Are they a chance in your books?
They are, but I think Natty, again, they've got Carisbrook on their heels, so they'll be wanting to get a win to make sure they can stick with top place on the ladder and stay where they are.
Yeah, I think it'd certainly be well worth watching one of the key matches of the round. And the final game to wrap things up, we got Talbot taking on Campbell's Creek. The Hawks coming in off their second loss of the season, needing a big win to get their tails up.
Yeah, Talbot almost could have been getting ahead of themselves, I reckon, last week. They might have, dropping one to Lexington last week, which not many people probably would have picked.
Yep.
But look, they'll bounce back really strongly here and take care of Campbell's Creek pretty comfortably, I think.
Probably, the way things could unfold, it could be an important loss for them because we know Lexington are good and they'll be knocking on the door of finals. We know Talbot, they'll be contending for that spot in the top 4. So to have a loss like that, it was only 9 points, but it'd be interesting to see how a team like that can bounce back, not just from this game onwards, but going forward.
Yeah, and they were doing it pretty comfortably up till then. They'd only lost one game. So you're right, it's probably the loss they needed to have to sort of, put it to them that they can get done. And they've got some big games coming up the next few weeks. Exactly.
Well, we look at teams like Trentham, and they do face Carisbrook in a handful of weeks' times as well. So they've got Harcourt and Carisbrook. So it's very important for them to record a big win here and just get back on that winners list.
Absolutely, and as close as it is this year, every win's important at this stage of the season.
Exactly. It seems like any team, probably in the top 11 now, that can make finals. But it's all thanks to our friends at Bendigo Bank for their ongoing support. Get down there and check them out. Absolutely sensational. Mitch, thanks so much for joining us, and we look forward to catching up with you next time.
Yep, good on you.
Welcome to what sort of edition this week?
Welcome to a mediocre, calm and relaxed edition.
I bet you won't say that. Mediocre.
An average edition.
Welcome to another super sensational.
Sensational.
Sensation.